welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing very well today, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is NatalieJade. I post videos over here at least 3 times a week, and I do have a vlogging channel too. So I hope you're doing very well today. So today's video is a little bit of a different one. I wanted to rate different influencer makeup products. This might be an influencer owned brand, for example the Aryan Beauty brand, or it could be an influencer collaboration with a current existing makeup brand, for example SOPH Makeup Revolution. So I wanted to just sit down and just rate all these, give my honest opinions, some positive, negatives, whether I think they're worth the money or not, things like that. I just wanted to rate all these. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you do, don't forget to smash that thumbs up button, leave me a little comment in that comment section down below, and make sure to subscribe to my channel for more content just like this. And let's get started with today's video. So as I said, I've had this idea for a little while now as my makeup collection is growing, and I feel like I've got a lot more influencer based products, and I kind of wanted to put it to the test whether these products are more selling out or being sold because of the influencer that's involved, or because the products are actually really good. So I just wanted to do a bit of a test and see how good they really are. So I've divided all these up into categories for their brands, so it makes it a little bit easier when we're going through these. We're starting off with Makeup Revolution, which, if you don't know, I do love Makeup Revolution products. I've been a fan of them for a little while now, and I do use them all the time. And the first influencer we're going to look at is NIKKI. So I actually did a review on probably all of these products when they all originally came out to try and give them a test and see what they're like. But I thought, now I've had these products for a little while, we can give them a more honest review because we know their upside downs, things like that. The first one, as I said, is going to be NIKKI. I only bought one product from this collection, mainly because that's all I could afford at the time. So NIKKI brought out a collection with Makeup Revolution. So the NIKKI collection was all based around like cafes, tea, coffee, things like that, and nice sweet treats. So she released 4 products in total, 2 mini palettes, a lip oil trio, and a face palette. So this is a palette that I actually bought, which is this one here. This is so pretty. I do really like this. The overall collection, I really wanted to try the face palette, but obviously at the time I couldn't afford it. The palettes were £8 each. These, by the way, they're actually currently reduced on the Revolution website. I don't know how long they're going to be reduced for, but currently they are. So the palettes were £8 each. The lip oils were £10 for the 3, so for a set of 3. And then the face palette was £15. So I don't think the prices are too bad, but so like I said, this is the one that I bought. The packaging is so pretty. I love the pastel effects. I love how pretty it is. And then when we get inside, these are the shades. So they're really nice. I said originally one of the only things that I felt this palette is missing would be like a white, because then it helps to blend them out a little bit more. But after using this quite a lot and quite a few times, the shades are so blendable that I don't really feel like you need one. I don't feel like I can fault the shades in here or the pigment in here. It's got a nice size mirror inside, and the shades are just really nice. It's like quite a nice summery palette. The shimmers are really pigmented. Like, that's the green. It's so pretty. Like, I do love this palette, and if I went back, I'd definitely buy this again. The nude and neutral palette wasn't really for me, and that's mainly because I've already got so many neutral palettes that for it to be something I'm interested in, it's got to be something really special. So I decided to go for this one because I love the packaging and I think it's really nice. I loved the colour story in this, and my favourite shade has to be this one here. It's absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, I do really like this. So the next one is Revolution X Roxy. She's incredible if you don't know her. She released, I think, 2 launches with Revolution. I've only picked up 1 product, but this I use all of the time. This is the Roxaurus Contour and Highlight Palette. Absolutely love this packaging. And this is what it looks like on the inside. The contour is so blendable and it's such nice shades. And I really like the highlights in there as well. I think it's great because this is diverse for a good few different types of skin tones. So it's not made for just one audience. Like, anyone could use this palette. Love the size of the mirror as well. This is a full-size mirror. Just really like this. I love the collection and all. Like, it looks so classy. She's got like a lip set. She had, I think that's the Ride or Die lip set. Really wanted to try her blush palette because it's very similar to this. It's got 8 shades in, but it's a blush palette. Really wanted to try that, but I just wanted to mention this one as well because I do use this all the time and I really like it, and I just love the presentation. It does remind me a little bit of the SOPH collab with Revolution, with the packaging and like the colour of it. It does remind me a little bit of that. So next we've got Revolution X SOPH. If you've been on my channel before, you may know I am obsessed with SOPH. She does incredible makeup. She's such a lovely person. Her collaborations are absolutely incredible and I'm just completely obsessed. So she released her first palette with Revolution and then she released a second one, and then recently she actually released a new full collection with them. I bought the majority of that collection, so this is just an example of one of them. It's really nice. I love the shade range in it. It's just more neutrals and nudes, and like I said before, I'm more into brighter eyeshadow and I like experimenting with new colours and new things. I love the shimmers in here. For example, this pink shimmer is absolutely stunning. Like, it's a really nice light pink shimmer. It's so pretty. I love the transition shades in here as well. There's some deeper shades, some lighter shades, some really nice warm tones. So I do really like it. It's just not one that I would reach for on a daily basis. Probably wouldn't buy that one again because once you've got it, you've got it. However, her newest palette, the SOPH Super Spice palette, I would buy 10 times over. This is beautiful. This is the packaging. You can tell by how scratched it is and how worn out it is how much I use this. It is so beautiful. Like, if you look inside, look at the colour range. I don't think there's an eye look you couldn't do with this palette. It is just so beautiful. The only one thing it's missing would be a white shimmer. That's the only thing that would be missing from this palette. You've got whites, you've got blacks, you've got really dark brown, you've got some light brown, like nudie colours, you've got your red, orange, yellow, green, you've got blue, pink, purple, you've even got a lilac in there, and then you've got five beautiful shimmers. Really love the shade Mirror Ball. I use this all the time. It's a gorgeous like goldy colour. And then the shade Dreamy is also so pretty. It's like this. So it's kind of like a white shimmer. It's just a little bit more ashy than a white. This is beautiful and it goes as a topper on like any eyeshadow. It is so pretty. So this, I would 1,000,000% buy again. This is my absolute favourite by her. Like, it's so beautiful. So because I liked it so much, I also bought the mini shadow palette. This is really nice too. I prefer the big one. So this is the Mini Spice and it's so pretty. That's just what it looks like. I love the shimmer in the top here. This is one of the reasons I bought this palette because this is absolutely beautiful. But I just love the shades as well, and I think this one is so good for like travel if you want to take it around with you. You've got some really nice warm tones. You could do a sunset eye, you could like a neutral eye. You've got 2 different shimmers in there to play with. It's really handy and so pretty. She also brought out her lip sets, which had a tinted lip balm and a lip liner in. I still haven't got these. I don't know why. I really should, but I haven't, and they do actually look really nice. Next, she also brought out 3 different highlighters. The reason she did 3 different ones were for 3 different skin tones, so then she could have them for everyone, so everyone had a highlighter if they wanted one. I bought 2 of them. The Cookies and Cream, which is my ultimate favourite. I use this literally every day, and the Sugar Frosting, which is also beautiful, but this one's just my favourite. So this is what this one looks like. It's got more golden champagne-y tones. Love the fact that it's got mirrors inside. And then this is the Sugar Frosting one. So it's still similar. It's got a bit of a champagne-y tone there, but it's a lot more icy and more white and brighter shades. They're beautiful, so I would definitely buy this collection again. Her collection has to be probably my favourite collaboration Revolution has ever done. As I said, I am missing one of her palettes, but I prefer her new one, so I would rather just buy another one of her new one because it's beautiful. So the big palette was priced at £12, which I actually thought was quite good, and then when I tried the palette out, I thought it was really good. Plus they always have Revolution sales anyway, so if you get this in a sale you can get it even cheaper. The highlight palettes were £8 each, which if you compare that to the big palette compared to a highlight palette, Like, this one seems such better value, and that £8 seems rather expensive. But if you look inside, you do get a lot of product in here, and you get a mirror inside, so it is understandable why. And then this palette here, which is a mini one, is also £8, so it kind of does add up with the size of them. But if you're gonna get one of these two palettes, the mini or the big one, like, it's a no-brainer, you've got to get the big one. For £4 difference, you might as well get this one. Next with Revolution, this is my last Revolution collaboration we've got here. This is the Revolution X Alexis Stone palette. I do like the presentation of this. I like the effect of the dark ombre into the light red. That's really nice. And it's got 28 shades in, so it's quite a decent sized palette. I was going to mention this earlier and I completely forgot. If I could change one thing about Nikki Lilly's collection, it would be for the palette to be bigger, because I love the palette, but it's just a bit small, and when it's gone, it's gone. I'd have to buy a new one. And I love the pigmentation, and it's so blendable, like I said. So if I could change one thing about that, I'd definitely make it like double the size, so you get so much more product in there. So opening this one up, this one is so aesthetically pleasing. Like, it's so pretty to look at. If you look at that, it's so nice. They've got some really nice deeper shades. You've got them all in a really pretty order. Up here, you've got more transition shades, so you could use these to blend out with a little bit. It is so pretty. The only problem I have with this is there are no shimmers in there. I don't actually have any shimmers on my eyes today, but usually when I go for an eye look, 9 out of 10 times I will have shimmer in my look. So for this palette to be so big and have 28 shades in but not have any shimmers frustrates me slightly. I feel like they could have probably got rid of like one of these rows in the middle here, because these shades are quite similar to each other. Like this blue and this blue is very, very similar to each other. These pinks here are very, very similar, and the purples are very similar. I feel like they could have probably got rid of one of these rows and then replaced it with a shimmery row, because that would have been so beautiful. But other than that, really, really nice palette. Like, it's super pigmented. So pigmented. I love all the shades, and you could make so many different looks from this palette. Plus, I don't think I actually have any grey eyeshadow, so getting grey eyeshadow in this palette makes me just want to play with it and try it, because recently on my For You page on TikTok, I've seen quite a few people playing with grey eyeshadow, so it kind of inspired me and I want to give it a go. I was just having a look on the Revolution website, and I can't actually find this palette on the website anymore when I actually bought it not that long ago. So I don't know if this is like unavailable now, but I know that you can still get these in Superdrug at the moment. But I was having a look to see how much it was. I think it was around like £10–15, something like that. So next we've got some Morphe products, and I've got two collaborations to show you. One of them, we'll go to the Jaclyn Hill one first. So I've got two Jaclyn Hill X Morphe palettes, which is volume 1 and volume 2. These are both really nice, however they retail at £39 each. I would not buy palettes for £39, like, unless it's something really special, because £39 is a lot of money for a palette. So for both of these, it's like £78 for these two palettes, which is a lot of money. I bought one of them in a sale, and then one of them brand new from my car boot sale for £10, which I thought was really good. So we'll go to volume 1 first. This one is what it looks like. Some pretty colours in here. I really like the blues. There's a lot of shimmers though, like there's a lot more shimmers in here than you realise. The palette is probably split 50-50 between shimmers and normals. It has a lot of like nudes and neutrals. In my complete honest opinion, I wouldn't buy this palette again. It's really nice. The pigmentation is beautiful. Like, the shimmers are absolutely stunning. It's got some really, really nice colours, but if you actually look a little bit closer into the palette, there isn't that much variation that you could do for that many different looks. Like I said before, I have so many neutral shades and neutral palettes that I don't need anymore. They have some warm tones at the top here. They've got about 5 warm tones here, a couple of transition shades, which is those two. They don't have a white, these are all shimmers. And then they've got some deep shades at the bottom. So they've got this khaki green, a brown, a mauve, a black, and then these 3 here, which is like this orangey shade, this purpley shade, and then this really dark nude. And then you've got this one here, which is this really nice dark green. Apart from that, the rest of them are shimmers, so it looks quite colourful, but there's not that many different combinations you could do with this. Like, you can't go out and do like really nice bright eye looks as well. It's mainly based at like nudes, smoky, kind of neutral looks, which is nice, but not really for me. I'd buy this for the shimmers, but not for the matte shades. However, volume 2, I love. Volume 2 is just like she read my mind. So this is what volume 2 looks like. This is more for me. So you have a lot more mattes than shimmers, and the shimmers you've got are stunning. So you've got a white, which I always look for in a palette. You've got a dark black, which is really, really good. So you can make shades lighter and you can make shades darker with those. And then you've got these beautiful, you've got this dark purple, bright hot pink, you've got a dark pink, you've got burgundy, you've got this orange, you've got a bright yellow, you've got some corally shades, you've got some neutrals. You have so much in here that this palette is absolutely stunning. Like, I would definitely buy this one again. Probably not for £40. I think it's a little bit too much. However, if it was in a sale and I'd like finished this one or lost this one or whatever, I would buy it again, like a replacement one. I love the shimmers up here, and I love this one here, right? It's called I'm In It. It looks white, but it also looks pink, like it's got a duochrome white kind of pink to it, and it is absolutely stunning. Really like the shimmers in here. They've got really nice pressed kind of pigments. I'm not a fan of like the chunky kind of glittery shades because they are so hard to get off your skin. Like, they're going to be there for ages, and because I do content creating as a job, I do like 3 or 4 makeup looks a day on my skin, so that's not really for me. So yeah, I wouldn't buy palette 1 again, volume 1, not for me at all. I'm not really impressed. If I'm honest, I just don't reach for this. But volume 2, I absolutely love. Like, I'd recommend this to anyone. There's nothing wrong with the volume 1 one. It's just not for my taste. It's not for me personally. I think it's a little bit dull for the £40 you're getting. Volume 2, however, is absolutely stunning. And then I've got the Avani Greg X Morphe palette, which is so nice. Like, look at the packaging. It's so pretty. I absolutely love this. And if you open it up, again, presentation is just key here. Love the big size mirror. This is the thing that actually drew me to buy the palette. This top half here are all shades, like eyeshadow shades, and at the bottom these are all waterliners. So we'll start off with the top shade here. I've actually done a full review on this. The pigmentation in these shades is unreal. Like, they are beautiful. They are so pigmented. This white is such a good one to kind of like blend in with the other shades. They're just beautiful. I love this shade. It's like a mango-y yellow, and it is so stunning. The only thing I'd change about it is this orange here isn't very orange. Like, if you're blending the yellow, orange and red together, the orange isn't that orange. It looks more as a red, and it blends into a red more. And I find it with most palettes, the oranges and reds just blend together and look like one shade. You can't see a distinguish between the orange and the red shade, if that makes sense. The only thing that I'm not as fond of in this palette is this shade here, which is a pure glitter shimmer. It looks really nice, but it is just like pieces of glitter, which then make it hard when you're putting your makeup on, taking it off. I just don't like playing with glitters. It's not my thing. And then at the bottom for the waterliners, these are stunning. I love the combination. However, it took me a while to actually figure out how to use them. This is me being dumb. It says wet your brush before you line. I thought that was just a slogan. I didn't realize that's actually what you had to do, because the paints are kind of water repelling. When I tried this, it took me so long to figure it out. So the paints, if you actually wet them, they just kind of dry instantly, so you do have to wet your brush and then give it a real good like swill around in the pan before it'll actually start to work. I found the white was the most difficult one to work with out of them all. However, they are stunning. When you apply them to your eyes, they are absolutely stunning. So with a little bit of practice, that's no issue at all, you'll get there. It's just getting that practicing to kind of know how to use the shades. Apart from that, absolutely stunning palette. I would 1,000,000% buy this again. This was £30, which I actually got it at reduced. I think I got it at 20, but currently it's on sale on the Morphe website for 15, so run and get this palette right now. She released 3 different items in the collection: a face and body glow and a bronzer. I want to try the bronzer. I haven't done yet. That one's £20 reduced to 10 currently, and then the face and body glow was £12 reduced to 6. Next, we're going to talk about Made by Mitchell. I only tried Made by Mitchell products this week for the first time, so I haven't had a long time to like experiment with them and test different ones out. So Mitchell is an influencer as well. He has his own brand. He has palettes, he has blushes which are called blushes, which I absolutely love, and contours and things like that. The prices of them This is what I can't really get over. The prices are rather expensive. However, when he has sales, they are ridiculously cheap. So for example, his milk palette is £40, which I understand that you get high-end palettes. Like the Jaclyn Hill one was £39. It's very similar. So you've got your high-end palettes. However, I don't have the disposable income to spend £40 on a palette. His blushes are £17 each, and his sponge trio is £18. I don't have £18 to spend on 3 sponges. Like, I just don't. However, the one thing that gets me is the fact that his sales are absolutely insane. For example, his palette at £40 is reduced to £10 in the sale. His blushes are £17 each. However, you can get 6 for £25. Like, it makes no sense to me to buy any of his products at like £17. I think his blush contours are like £18 each. Again, you can get 6 for £25, which I just think is so crazy. I would honestly rush to his website now and buy them all at the reduced prices. And if they're not reduced when you look at them, just keep his website in mind and keep checking every now and again. Because if you can get his products on offer, I definitely would. That's what I did. I bought 6 of his blushes recently for £25, which is so good. The 6 contour shades, so you can get 6 contours for £25. They're currently out of stock on his website, but if you go onto the contours and put 6 in your basket, 6 individual ones in your basket, then it'll knock off the original price. It's supposed to be like £96 or something. They're such good offers. I would genuinely buy them at that kind of offer, but I wouldn't buy them again at the original price. So, looking at a little bit at the packaging, this is just one that I picked up, one that I'm wearing today. They blend beautifully into your foundation. They don't take any of your base off, and they just blend really nicely really nicely into it. So, when I open it up, this is what it looks like. Looks really nice packaging. Love the little M on the top. And you've got a little doe for here to then apply it onto your face. These are so pigmented that you need the tiniest amount of product, so these will last you so long, especially if you're getting 6 for £25. Like, you probably will never need to buy them again because they're gonna last forever. They have a beautiful shade range for all different skin tones and skin types, and just for what your preferences are. So I definitely recommend them, but like I said, I would only buy them if they were on sale. Next, we've got Aryan Beauty, which is Ariana's beauty line. So if you didn't know, Ariana brought out a beauty line last year, and she's bringing it out in 4 chapters. So the first one is chapter 1, Ultraviolet. She recently released chapter 2, but I haven't bought anything from it just because I cannot afford it. So when she brought out chapter 1, she brought out such a big range of products. She brought some eyeshadow palettes out, she brought lip products out, she got mascaras, all things like that, lip plumping glosses, and she brought out some highlights. I think she brought out 18 different shades of highlight, which is crazy. My favourites from her collection are her highlights and her mascara. So I do have the palette as well, but I'm just not, it's not that I'm not a fan of it, it's just I don't feel like it's anything special, especially for the money, and since it's an Ariana one, it's nothing special. So she had a very like intergalactic kind of space theme, which I love. So if you look at the packaging, this is what they look like. So we'll start off with the mascara first. When she brought this range out, I could not believe the prices. So it's Ariana Grande. She could charge anything she wanted for this collection, and she would probably still sell out. This mascara was £15. That is so cheap, especially for someone like her. I could go to Superdrug and buy, probably most mascaras will be around £10, £15 anyway. So the fact that it's an Ariana one as well as that, I think it was really good value. This is her lengthening one. I just want to apologise if this video is a little bit start-stop now, because my neighbours are having work done, and now they've started drilling some stuff in the middle of me filming a video. You can probably hear it in the background, so I keep waiting until they've stopped. They're cutting these tiles, and every time they have a break, I'll film a bit, and then they'll start again, so I'll have a couple of minutes when they have breaks. So if it's start and stop, that is why. I think it's a volumizing and a lengthening one they do. So I got the lengthening, and it is genuinely so good. I do have it on my lashes today, and I really like it, so I would definitely buy this again. Love the packaging, and I just love the product itself. The highlighter is stunning. I bought the Miss Mercury one, and it is just unreal. Like, I just got a little swatch. It's so creamy, and it is just absolutely stunning. Like, it is just unreal. It's so pretty. I think this is just one that is so underrated. Like, I always forget I have this and forget to use this, and it is just probably in my top 3 highlighters I own. I also love the pattern on it. It's so pretty and just galactic and just so nice. Love the mirror inside, and it just feels really expensive. I've also seen incredible reviews about her false lashes. I haven't bought any. They're £16 per set, but I've seen so many people say how amazing they are as well, so I think that's really good. I do also have her liquid eyeshadow toppers, which are the metallic ones. Those are £16 as well, but I don't think they're as good value for the money. So you've got a full mascara for £15 or an eyeshadow topper for £16, and you don't get anywhere near as much product in there. Still really, really nice. But for the money, for the value, I feel like these are better. This one was £22 by the way, which I think is actually quite good for the price, for the size of it, and just for the quality, with it being such good quality. I would definitely buy these again. Like, I use these two all the time. So next we're going to talk about Beauty Bay. I love Beauty Bay. I have loved every single thing they've come out with, not just as a brand to like buy other products from or other brands from, but their own branded things. I love their eye base. I think their eye base is genuinely a dupe for the P. Louise. Like, it's so good. And I love their palettes. There's not been a palette I've tried by them that I haven't absolutely loved. So I've got 2 collaboration ones to talk about today. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the Beauty Bay X NIKKI Tutorials palette. This is stunning. This is what the palette looks like. It is so pretty. I love the presentation of this. It's got a really dark side and then a really bright kind of happy side, rainbows, unicorns kind of thing. Love the theme of this. And then it's got 2 mini mirrors inside, and it says you are you, I am me, which I think is really, really cool. If you look at the shades, they are so pretty. I love the shades. It makes me a little bit anxious with this set out of this. Like, I don't really like the layout of the colours. Like, I wish it was a little bit more aesthetically pleasing for the colours, but that's just me being a little bit OCD about that. I love the range. Like, this is a beautiful deep purple. You've got yellows, you've got pinks, you've got oranges, reds, blues. You've got this beautiful kind of like tealy green colour here. This really nice light blue there. So I do love the different ranges of colours. I just wish there was maybe some more transition shades in there. That is the main and probably only transition shade you've got, is this neutral one here. However, these shimmers are absolutely unreal. This is my favourite palette for shimmers. If you look, I've just swatched a few here. So this is a blue one. It's really hard to tell with the overexposed lighting. There's a purple, a blue and a white there, and they are just stunning. My favourite in the palette has to be Ivy. They are so pigmented that you get a lot of like flakiness. Like, even on my hand there's flakiness and fallout, so you don't want to like do all your makeup and then put the shimmers on and then it should just go all over your face. So if you're using this palette, because it is so pigmented and so well made, I definitely recommend doing your eyes before the rest of your makeup, because otherwise the amount of pigment in this palette will just end up ruining your makeup. It is so beautiful, but that is just something to look out for. Next, we've got Jade X Beauty Bay, which was released, I think, last year, 2021, end of 2021 time. This is beautiful. This is genuinely one of my favourite palettes ever, and it's probably my favourite palette by Beauty Bay. This is Jade from Little Mix. She created a palette with Beauty Bay, and look at how stunning the layout is of this. This palette was inspired by crystals, spirituality and astrology, which you can tell by the actual front of it. And then when you open it up, it has so many beautiful shades that I feel like you could come up with nearly any eye look with this. It is missing some dark greens. I feel like that's all it's missing. It has reds, some really lovely warm tones. The shimmers are ridiculous. Like, this is my favourite, and it's called Halo. I use this as an inner corner and as a topper like all the time. They're so pretty. I love the warm tones. These deep reds are really, really nice, and I love the oranges. It's got a really nice unique yellow. It's like a lime kind of yellow. I just love how unique these are. My favourite shade in the palette has to be this purple here. I've been using this in like all of my eye looks lately. Like, it's in the centre of my lid there. I've just been using it all the time because it's so beautiful. The only problem I have with this palette, which I'll be honest about, is I feel like they're too pigmented and too packed in, so it's made the quality of the palette go down a little bit, because the pigment of the shades are beautiful. When you actually apply it, they blend out so well and everything like that. However, with them being so pigmented, they've kind of packed them a little bit too much, so this literally fell out the day I opened my palette. Like, half of it fell out. I literally just had to pack the shade back in. Like, if you look a little bit closer, I literally had to pack the entire shade back in because it was just falling out. It's such a beautiful pigment. Like, it's so nice. It's a beautiful silver, but it just fell out. Like, the pigment literally fell out of the pan, so I had to like pack it all back in because it was so pigmented. But the actual quality of the colours and the look of it on your eye, like, I'm completely obsessed. Like, I love every single shade. Got some beautiful transition shades, and I don't think there's actually anything else I'd change about this palette. I love every single shade. I love how many there are. There's 42 shades in here, and the actual price of this, I'm not sure exactly the price of it right now, but when this came out, the price was so good. Like, it was so affordable, especially with it being a Jade one. I think it was like £25 or something when it came out, which is so affordable to say. It's a £42 palette, and it's a collaboration with Jade from Little Mix. I just think this is a perfect palette. I genuinely do. This is probably my favourite out of the full video. And then finally, for our last one, we have Kylie Cosmetics. A lot of people have mixed opinions of Kylie's brand. Personally, I do really love it. I've tried a variation of her products. I've tried her collaborations, for example, her Nightmare on Elm Street one. I've tried her collaboration with Kendall. I tried her new Valentine's collection and her general Kylie Cosmetics products. I do like them overall. However, I think they're definitely overpriced. One thing I do love about Kylie's products is the presentation and the time and work and effort she puts into them. So for example, this is the Kylie Nightmare on Elm Street, and I think that is so beautiful. Like, the packaging, the amount of time, effort, thought and stuff that's gone into this is insane. Like, on the inside, even the packaging on the inside is so detailed. The palette itself looks absolutely stunning. It feels really good quality, and then when you open it up, like, there's so much detail gone into there. For the money, I feel like you are buying it for the money. You are buying it for Kylie's name more than anything. The shimmers are stunning, but you don't get a lot of variation with the actual colours. Like, you've got 1, 2, 3 shades there that are just very similar, kind of like nude shades. And then you've got these 2 shimmers, which are quite similar. They're just quite bright ones. You've got this really lovely dark red and this maroony colour. A pastel pink, this dark green. And then that's kind of it in the palette, apart from a couple of other like golden shimmers. It's not that easy to kind of make a good variation of different looks with. It's a beautiful palette, great for novelty, but to actually take around with you, like if you're going to take one palette on a holiday, this wouldn't be it. It's a nice like Halloweeny or like Christmassy themed one for the colours in there, but it's not the kind of palette that I'd use every day. And for the prices she does charge for them, it's rather expensive. Usually with collaboration palettes like this, they're like £30 to £40. Which is really expensive for this size kind of palette, especially if you compare it to the Jade one we've just looked at. Like, the amount of money and the amount of like difference between the actual palettes. Like, Kylie's are incredible quality, I'm never going to doubt that. They are so good quality, but they're just really overpriced. And her Valentine's collection from this year, for example, super pretty packaging, looks really nice. This one was £35. I love the inside of it. I love the heart-shaped mirror. I love all that. Little heart-shaped actual pans in there. They smell of chocolate. They're really pretty. I love the shimmers, but again, variation in matte colours. You don't get a lot. There's not a lot of like really out there looks you can do. You've got corally colour, you've got a white. That's not even a white, it's more of like a grey white. And then you've got these 2 pastel kind of pinks. You've got this quite nice orangey colour, quite a nude colour, and then some shimmers. So you don't have a big variation in the colours, which I think is the biggest downfall in Kylie's products. I will always love Kylie. I will always buy her products. I do love them, but I'm going to be honest with the negatives and the positives. Her latest collab, which is the Kendall collab, I do absolutely love. However, I was slightly disappointed by the palette again. It had some really nice shades, and I feel like it definitely had more variation in this one. It had 18 shades in there. I do really like it, and the packaging, I'm sorry, but the packaging is absolutely stunning for this. It's like their spring collection. The names of their shades were so iconic. So you've got Big Sister, Go Off Sis, Caught Stress, We Get It You're Perfect, The Kendall to My Kylie, Super Famous Clips, Kai and Kenny. Like, they've got some really iconic names. I feel like this one for £45 is a lot of money. She didn't have any shimmers, which I was really disappointed by, that there was no shimmers in the palette. Especially that she's done like quite a nice size palette. For it to all be matte was a little bit disappointing, but I'm definitely glad that I bought the palette. I just probably wouldn't buy another. As part of that collection, she also released a trio of lip crayons, which I actually have one of them on today. These are all really pretty. One of them is actually my absolute favourite, and I've been using this every single day. I think for the money, these weren't too bad. I think there was £30 for 3, which in comparison to her lip kits, I think this is actually quite affordable. This one is my absolute favourite. As you can tell, I have been using this a lot. This is Iconic Duo, all honesty, if I run out, / when I run out, I would probably buy these again. But the only frustrating part about this is with it being a collaboration, she keep it on her website for so long, then just get rid of it, which is so sad that you won't be able to always buy these. She also brought out a blush and highlight quad, which love the packaging. I find this one quite complicated because I love the product. She's got a cream blush and cream highlight, and then a powder blush and a powder highlight. I think these were really nice. The powder highlight was absolutely insane. The cream blush was so pretty. They were all really, really nice. I like all of the shades in here. However, this was either £35 or £40 for this size. Like, when it came in the post, I expected it to be a lot bigger than this. Like, it's like a third of the size of the palette. I expected it to be so much bigger than this, especially for a face palette. So it's very heavy, so you can tell it's good quality and all that. But I did expect it to be a lot bigger. So for the money you're paying, like 40 quid for something this small, it's kind of ridiculous if you think about it for the money. I don't have a lot of spare money lying around, so it is, you know, it just seemed like a really big investment. I probably wouldn't have bought this again if I went back in time and saw the actual size of it. Like, online it looked a lot bigger than it did when you got it in person. So that one, personally, I probably wouldn't have bought again. And then onto Kylie Cosmetics in general, like her general products. You've got her bronzers, she does highlights, she does blushes. I like all these. I've just got one of each here just to show you. I've got a few highlights and I do really like them. So I'm going to start off with her bronzer. I got this one in the shade Toasty. This one is really, really nice. I think I got the right shade for me. For the money, I think this was like 20 something pounds. For the money, probably not really worth it if I'm going to be completely honest about that, because it is so, so expensive. The blush, I got Baddie on the Block, which is the one that Kylie uses, so I wanted to compare it. This is a stunning shade and this blends out so beautifully. I'm probably being crazy by saying this, but I probably would buy this again because it's really, really nice. Absolutely beautiful pigment. Like, it's so soft and so creamy and it's just so, so nice. So I probably would buy that again. And then the final one is the Kylie highlights. I've got Cheers Darling, I've got Ice Me Out, I've got Quartz, and I think I've got another one of Kylie's because these are insane. I've been wearing this makeup nearly all day now, but you can still see the highlight. This is Kylie's highlight. So pretty. I absolutely love this. Kylie and SOPH and Ariana are my top 3 highlights. They are so good. Admittedly, this one is very expensive. However, I probably would buy it again because it's so nice. Like, so pretty. It's just unreal. The actual shimmer in it is just unreal. You can't see because the lighting on the camera as well, but it is really, really good. This one is in the shade Quartz, which is really nice. I also love the shade range she's brought out in these. She's got a really big shade range. But yeah, I would definitely buy this again. There's some Kylie items I wouldn't buy again. If I could go back in time, I wouldn't have bought them. But I feel like you've just got to learn from experience what you do and don't like. Some I just think are so overpriced, but some are definitely worth the money. So I've tried to whiz through all that so I've not bored you guys with so many different products and what I like, what I don't like, but I hope you've all enjoyed that. I really have enjoyed this. If you have, let me know in the comment down below and I could do another one of these with different collabs, different brands, different people, things like that. But I hope you have all enjoyed this. If you have, don't forget to smash that thumbs up button and leave me a lovely little comment to read later on down below, and make sure you do subscribe to my channel because it helps us out so much. But that is it from me for today, and I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye!